What is up? This is the Keyholing podcast with Lemon. This week I have the stylish Scoutmaster, the beefy gun builder, LCSscallywag at LCSscallywag. Patches of Hooligan. How's it going, man?
Going all right. How are you doing, man?
Good, good. First, for those that don't know, you build guns. You are a scoutmaster. One of your focuses, one of the things you post most about is getting kids outside, getting kids involved, talking to them about guns, being open, having conversations with them, treating them as actual people. Incredible concept, I know.
Okay.
But that's what I wanted to bring you on for. And so, first, we will kind of talk about being that new generation of Scoutmaster, and
Yeah.
what is leadership when you're displaying leadership qualities to these kiddos? What does leadership look like to you?
Ah, so I've been involved with scouts. I was in scouts back in the late 1900s, I guess you could call it now. Uh, did Tiger Cubs, earned my Eagle Scout, did venturing and all of that. Went to college, got out of scouts for a stretch during that time, and then got my, you know, tried to get my oldest involved in scouts, but just had bad luck finding a troop that either a Cub Scout pack or troops that we both vibed with, and then unfortunately, once we finally found one, we moved, and he oldest wasn't interested in trying to again for the fourth or fifth time, but then I got my youngest involved uh, after my time at Scouts. And that just led me to stepping in and getting more involved than I expected. But so I had my share of Scoutmasters that I either butted heads with or got along with, or both, honestly. But one of the one of the leadership things, like, I've personally tried to help these kids with when I was Scoutmaster or whatever, because I officially stepped down and quote unquote retired from Scoutmaster stuff a couple months ago. But one of the things I always tried to help them with was their idea of what, like, leadership was. And you see it really fast when younger kids start taking leadership roles in the troop with, like, the senior patrol leader or a patrol leader. Their go-to response to get people to try and do what the task they're assigning them is to start barking orders and just, like, screaming and, hey, you got to do this. And the trying to teach them that, you know if that's going to be your voice for being a leader, that's fine, but you need to figure it out so it works. So it's one of those, like, is that actually your voice? Is that your personality? Or is that just what you think leadership looks like, of barking orders?
No,
Like,
100%. And I think exploring like what that idea is very important because a leader isn't one thing, right? And
yeah,
a big focus to me working with kids and being around them is empowering them
yeah,
and saying, hey, you can have whatever style, whatever like angle you embrace, but you
hmm,
just have to be convicted in it and understand it's yours. And they have time to develop it too, right? I feel so
yeah,
often in this and not that it always hasn't been this way, like people like rushing children to fit into certain roles and trying to mold them into certain roles
hmm,
uh, in a negative aspect. But as far as giving them time to grow, we get our food so fast, we get our internet fast, we get literally everything's fast and convenient
hmm,
nowadays, and we kind of forget the people aspect where you're allowed to make mistakes
yeah,
and learn from them and have actual experiences. And not everything has to be fast track expedited.
yeah.
So
So
go ahead.
I was gonna say, so off of that, one of the major points of scouting, at least, so there's for those who don't know, boys, I'm referring to Boy Scouts of America, which is now they've finally have gone co-ed and whatnot, and it's now called Scouting America, and the two
Hey,
major
why do girls need to go outside? What them
yeah,
girls need to be doing outside stuff for?
it's very much a laughable complaint for me because the U.S. scouting program is one of the last to have actually gone co-ed in some form or fashion, but it's still there's still an option for those who aren't aware. There's actually still very much options to have a boys only troop, a girls only troop, or a what they call a family troop, which would be a co-ed male and female, you know, mixed troop, and it all just comes down to the chartered org for the troop. But one of the major tenets with scouting is that it's scout led. So you let your scouts make the plan, you let them execute the plan, and then you let them fail at their plan if their plan sucks. And that goes back to like what you were saying is giving them a chance to grow. Is like a lot of these kids, they come into scouts, they're 11, 12, they're in that awkward middle school trying to find themselves stage still, and they're trying to work with people that they know some of them from school, but some of them they don't because these kids come to these troops from all parts, all across town type of stuff.
Well, and
And
there
so
is a
it's
large homeschool contingent in these in the scouts as well, I believe.
it's I wouldn't call it large, but it's there. Like there was a
Oh, I should
family, and
say noticeable.
yeah, it's but there's also you're gonna find that's kind of the best part of scouts to me is that you can find different you will be forced to work and talk with and cooperate with different families and different kids from all different backgrounds. Like there was a family in our troop who homeschooled their 5 kids, and all 5 of those kids are awesome. I helped. I had a direct hand in at least 3 of them earning their Eagle Scout, and then I've got one of my best friends I met through this troop. He's Afghanistan vet, and his 2 kids. I had a hand in his oldest earning her Eagle Scout, and I've had less of an impact, but still there of his youngest earning her Eagle Scout. It's you as an adult you get forced to deal with people and personalities and families that you don't you know you get outside of your circle, and the same thing happens with these kids. So they have to the kids specifically have to learn how to make peace with, oh, this little Timmy's kind of annoying, but we all have to work together to because I want to eat on this camp out. So little Timmy's the grub master, so now I've got to figure out how to make it help Timmy out so I can eat my food. You just they learn to put that stuff aside, but they learn how to like trying to figure out how to word this. They learn how to essentially all the stuff that adults, all of us old adults and whatnot are like, hey, you got to try an adult, you got to do this adult stuff. This is where they learn that. So
Which is
it's
so
just,
important because there's gonna be annoying people you work with.
yeah,
There's
I,
gonna
I,
be
I
annoying.
can name 3 off the top of my head right now.
Yeah, yeah. List their name and address. Yeah,
Right.
no. There's gonna be annoying people you have to interact with, and there's gonna be people who don't see things your way that you are going to have to try and convince or work with them
Mhm.
toward their way. And it's so important to have those life lessons and also to understand for them, and it would be awesome if adults would understand this,
Mhm.
that we have way more in common with each other as individuals than whatever weird fucking culture war
Yeah.
political bullshit that the government and media entities are trying to push onto us.
Yeah,
Like
exactly. And
you
that,
have so much more in common with your fellow kiddo, even if he's homeschooled or whatever it may be.
mhm. Yeah, like that's one of the things a lot. I think it's an unspoken thing. A lot of these kids, and then also, uh, a lot of the parents start to learn is like, oh, that, I can get along with people. We don't have to agree on everything 100%, but then it's also everybody, who gets involved. 95% of everybody who gets involved in Scouts all are there for the same reason of helping push the program to help these kids, learn, just wilderness type of skills, get outside, touch grass, and then like we were talking about, like, hopefully leadership skills and, you know, helping them become more functional members of society, outside of the troop. So,
No, 100%. And just kind of like I view the like kind of like insulated nature of the gun community and kind of not training but kind of encouraging people to be good representatives outside of the space, like when you go to the range, like
mhm.
when you're just plastic pilling normal people who are confused or don't understand,
Yeah,
having
yeah,
that attitude of help and growth. And that's really one of the aspects I enjoy so much of it is when someone's interested in 3D printing, there's so many people who jump and say, okay, how can I help you? These
mhm.
are some steps we can take. Do you view any parallels there?
Yeah. I think I see a lot of, well, okay, so there's two major things, from Scouts: the Scout Oath and the Scout Law, and the basic gist is, do your best, be kind, be helpful, da 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 da. Like, you can look it up. I don't need to recite it for everybody, even though I can after all these years still. But it's one of those, what those teach is, I think it's a universal thing. Like you said, you can find those tenets taught anywhere, really. You can find any sort of social group, or, you know, your local church group would probably is teaching the same things. There's all sorts of stuff that teaches that, be kind, be helpful, set a good example for your community, and all this that exists everywhere. Um, but I think that if you can parlay that into anything, it makes you a better person. It makes your community better, and it makes you an example that people can look to. Like, you don't have to be perfect, but you just have to try. You know, it's, and I think that parlays back into, like, if somebody, it's somebody, for the 3D printed gun stuff. If somebody asks, oh, hey, is that 3D printed? And is like trying to ask you for information. It goes back to, like, yeah, just be open and honest and help them. Just like, yeah, this is what I did and this is how it works. And, did you want to shoot it? Just
No,
it'd be, it,
definitely.
it's that good, trying to be that good steward to do that. But,
And also, like, I kind of another aspect when doing research and kind of looking into this, the
mhm,
DIY, the do it yourself, and being encouraged, and a huge aspect of it. I feel like that's another thing that translates so well from scouts.
mhm. Yeah, because there's a lot of steps in rank when you're doing your rank, earning your rank and stuff, that there's projects you have to do, or you have to do. There's a lot of community service you have to do, so you got to work on a project, help out, do this. To earn your Eagle, you have to do your Eagle project, which is a massive leadership project. You have to, you basically have to plan it out and do all the logistics, and manage your crew and all that. And it starts at the, here's what my project is, and here's, how here's the supplies I need, here's how I'm gonna build it, and then when something goes wrong, how are you gonna pivot and change? which, like you said, that's something that pops up a lot when you're trying to 3D, build a 3D printed gun. It's like, okay, well, I have my parts list, I have the README in front of me, and now I'm at this part of the README, and for some reason, mine's not doing the same thing the README says. So how do I adjust this? How do I fix this? And there's been multiple times that personally myself, I've actually just reached out to the developers and just like, hey, I've printed this thing 3 or 4 times now and I can't get it to work right. What am I missing? And they're just like, they'll usually just be like, this very simple and obvious thing. You're an idiot. How did you miss this? But not really. Don't call me an idiot. They've all been very helpful.
Yeah, no, and
But
and it's so cool to see those traits being fostered
yeah.
in youth, and obviously like in adults even, because
Mhm.
this may be the first time people get to focus on collaboration
Yeah.
or get the experience of troubleshooting on themselves, like by themselves, and
Hmm.
you get so much from that. That's honestly one of my favorite aspects, is seeing people it click, right?
Yeah.
Seeing, because it may be a particular build that's difficult for someone, or it may be a particular aspect of a build that
Hmm.
that you don't necessarily get. So you go back and look at it. You message a couple people. The devs are really helpful,
Hmm.
and even if they can point you in the right direction to say try this, giving you a fresh perspective on it, and really understanding that you're in control, right? One of the key aspects of learning how to print with my ender was accepting that it's just a machine, that
Yeah.
I'm in control of it, that things I can alter the outcome
Hmm.
positively. And because it does feel overwhelming sometimes, for sure. And I really, really think that's so valuable to learn. Do you guys still do the little car thing, the little
So
cars?
yeah, the Pinewood Derbies.
Yes.
So that's a Cub Scout thing. So
Oh, sorry.
so, but no, they still do it. Like that is a thing that still gets done, and it's awesome. And it's that actually the Pinewood Derby and Cub Scouts. So Cub Scouts is your kindergartner through like fifth grade, and then 6th grade through 12th grade is usually Scouts, where
Oh, okay. Sweet, sweet, sweet.
so so Cub Scouts, it's all the younger stuff. That's where you start building the foundation for these kids to, when they get to Scouts, they have some basic skills and basic understanding and stuff. But no, so the Pinewood Derby is still a thing. It's what fosters a lot of creativity in a lot of these kids because they go, uh, they'll design their car and they'll go into the garage with their mom or their dad or both, and they'll start just hacking away at this chunk of balsa wood and throwing wheels on it. And it leads to that interest of building stuff and troubleshooting stuff and just the creative aspect of how can I make my car look cool and how can I make it go fast and this and that. And like it leads to that, kids start, oh well, I want to go do this and become an engineer. I want to do that and be a mechanic, or I really like painting, so I'm going to work on this, and they start fine tuning and expanding hobbies and interests off of that. And it turns into well, both things. And depending on your local council for scouts, it it can become a citywide or, statewide competition. Like I remember when I was in Cub Scouts back in San Diego, all the troops had their own Pinewood Derby thing. And at the end, like once a year, our council had what was called a scout fair. They don't have them anymore, I don't think, because they're a massive pain and budgets and whatnot. But they'd have this thing called the scout fair that they would then have the council wide Pinewood Derby. So the fastest car from every one of the packs in San Diego would show up and then have a final, derby. And so one Cub Scout got to walk away and say they have the fastest car in council, which was always like Mine never did. I always went off of like, how cool can I make this look? And so like it was, I went for rule of cool and I lost every race I was ever in. But you know, they have so there's the Pinewood Derby. There's also they've actually added a couple other things. There's rain gutter regattas, which it's the same concept except you build a boat and you throw it in a rain gutter full of water and you stand behind you chase after it with a straw blowing into the sail to see who can race faster.
Ooh,
So
fun.
yeah, those ones are pretty cool. Um, I think they've banned them technically at this point, uh, due to possible dangers. But there used to be rocket car races, which was it's essentially a Pinewood Derby car, except you'd have a hollowed out cavity at the back that you'd put a CO2 canister in and launch it across the floor. So
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, those are pretty cool. They banned those a couple years ago because of the very obvious safety issues of some kid getting beamed with a high powered CO2 car. Well,
Yeah, no, it's I can see how that got taken away.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. It's one of those like I'm torn on it because I'm like those are super cool. That makes it really cool. And that was what was happening. We were doing that with scouts, so the older kids were the ones who got to mess with the rocket cars. Because yeah, you're messing with CO2 and whatnot, but they took it away because of the obvious safety thing. So I'm like, yeah, I see the safety thing, but everybody likes making Pinewood Derby cars. What the hell? This is cool.
yeah, no, exactly. Maybe some goggles. I mean, this should be good. And
Yeah,
getting injured is part of
yeah,
the process.
yes.
Something,
Everybody here's had to do some sort of first aid training.
yeah,
At
exactly.
least earn the first aid merit badge. You guys will be fine.
Exactly. Rub some dirt on it.
Yeah, you'll be fine. Yeah.
Something significantly harder to build than
Hmm.
a Pinewood Derby car. The Arc. I've got your purple one on screen here. Why did you choose this as your this is your second build ever, right?
Yeah, I think so. Because the Hitchhiker was my first, and then I think the Ark was my second, and I think the Ark was my second because I can't even remember how or what it was, but I think I won the build kit for it, like the parts kit for
Oh,
it.
you
So
so you
like,
got cursed into making it.
yeah, like it was one of the. So like, I'll be honest, like I wanted to make one ever since I saw Armed Joy's, like he built one, and I was like, that's a ridiculously awesome build. I will make one of those days. And then like a year or so later, uh, I somehow won the parts kit for the 7-inch arc, and which is basically just the threaded rails that goes across the top and on the bottom of the receiver to hold the front and the race on right there. And then I had to buy everything else for it. So the barrel, the bolt, the fire control group. Yeah, it was just one of those, just kind of got cursed and fell into it. And I I don't know. It worked out really well in the grand scheme of it. Um, I still got to take it apart and clean out. I think the trigger well because the it doesn't fully reset. Like you pull the trigger, it'll fire, but the trigger doesn't reset fully all the way forward. So it's either my springs are crap or I've got something there that's holding it up from completely resetting. So I got to fix that, but it's still fun to shoot. So uh, yeah, I
And,
don't.
and talk about an eye catcher. I'm sure people love to look at it and see what's going on.
Yeah, yeah, no. Like I've pulled that out at the range a couple times to test it and just see if it still works. And have definitely caught people just like, the hell's that? And I'm just like, have you ever shot a 3D printed gun? And they're like, what? So I'll let them shoot it, but it's one of those. I stamped it. I submitted a Form 1 for it, so it's now officially a SBR. But I put a stock on it, and then I printed a. This is actually an older picture since I printed a RGB crescent in the same purple filament uh, for for it. So my goal is to get the trigger working properly, and then I actually want to go try and shoot a match locally with it, just because I know I'm not good, but it'll look cool at least.
Oh, you're a sicko. Shooting a match with an arc is sicko mode. That it is so
Yeah,
cool though, and people love the video game guns.
yeah,
People are obsessed with the rightfully because it's so cool to see something come to life
yeah,
that was just like essentially fiction.
yeah. That's partly why I wanted that. It looks just sci-fi video game esque, all of that. Very much you know Halo Covenant style, and that's the same reason I wanted to do the baby bolter from Warhammer, which that one's I've had more people shoot that than my arc, but it's just because that's just what I have, and they're just like, this thing's awesome. There's no sights on this. It's like, yeah, it's a bolter. Just fucking send it, dude. Just mag dump that way.
Yeah, vibes.
Oh
That's for shooting in the
yeah,
trash.
yeah,
It
yeah.
is so fun
This is a
though.
mag dump. This is a mag dump into trash for the Emperor type of gun. Just send it.
Yeah, it is so fun, and to see the you mentioned like the futuristic. It does feel like mind bending, time bending in a way that we are doing this, and this technology gives us the capability to make these.
Mhm. Yeah, like I don't know. My main thing with 3D printing guns is just like the concept of being able to do it was never on my radar, and it was one of those, like, I've always kind of wanted a 3D printer. I thought the concept was cool, but then I started seeing it pop up on my Twitter feed of people 3D printing, and I was like, wow, that's actually super cool. I want to get into that. So I eventually got a 3D printer and set it up, and you know cranked out that hitchhiker, and I'm just like, I just want to print cool stuff. Like
And talking
I
about cool stuff, another eye catching, people love the painted guns. The painted guns are another thing that gets such an eye. Here we've got the classic phallic camo from Rattler, incredible, and it's
that was
even
this
got a Wiener
kind of
award
major
here.
award.
Yeah,
So this apparently, like, talking to Rattler, that was apparently the first actual confirmed gun painted with that camo. So
oh, that's awesome. I've seen Rexy's. For those that don't know, he did a high point carbine with the
yeah,
phallic camo. But this is a
yeah.
much more like tactical phallic camo. Has anyone noticed it up close and been like, "Holy shit"?
Uh, Not too many people. I got a couple buddies who have, and then like there's like I went back and repainted this a little bit and added black to make it pop a little bit more. So because yeah, it's very subtle without the black. That you definitely like. Wait a second, but I went and put a coat of black dicks on it. that it's very much more obvious, so people see it more. But yeah, that little reward thing is hilarious. The wife and I were in Denver at some bar, and they had a vending machine selling like gag gift stuff, and she went and bought the one that was called a bag of dicks, and it just had a bunch of dick themed joke gifts in it, and that that little major award was in there, and it now hangs on my patch wall.
That is awesome. That
Yeah,
is
no,
so fun, and that just shows like how much silliness and fun can be embraced. And
yeah,
Rattler has a bunch of cool stuff. Rattler
mhm,
Innovations, and use code Lemonade Lemon AID for 5% off. Tons of cool stuff. They've got a ton of new patterns out. The phallic camo even started as a joke,
yeah.
and he posted as an April Fool's Day joke, and people were like, "No, I want it."
I was quite literally one of those people. Is like, I swear to God, I will rattle can something with that. But yeah, the paint job on my hitchhiker, that was actually probably the first gun I ever painted.
Oh
Um,
wow.
so that is a very horrible use of Rattler's Tiger Stripe stencils, actually. And I just picked like the three or four most hideous fluorescent colors I could find, and just painted it. So it's really hard to tell that it was tiger stripe because I did a very shitty job with it, and it's hard to lay it a uh, it's hard to lay a pencil flat on uh, on a round thing. Oh, hey, that's my little retro house sticker on the back of my range kit.
Oh, yep, the Retro House sticker. People love the Retro House stuff. The shirts are sick. Did
Yeah.
your wife enjoy shooting the arc?
Yeah, she liked it. She's very much like she has her 22 rifle bolt action that we bought years ago, and that's hers. She enjoys shooting. She'll go out shooting with me. All of my bullshit, she's like, "No, I'm good, man. I'm just gonna shoot my 22 and I'm gonna enjoy my life." And I'm like, "You know what? That's fair."
That's
So, but she
fine.
shot
She
it.
she can enjoy it that way, but the bullying will continue.
Yeah,
We have to.
but she shot it. She shot it a couple times.
Oh, okay. She did try it
And
though.
yeah, she did try it. She's shot, I think, almost everything I've printed, at least once or twice. But
Did she have a favorite?
I don't know. I think if she does, it might be the hitchhiker. She just really likes shooting 22.
Oh yeah,
So
it's such a fun little. It's much more chill.
yeah,
It's just relaxing. It is very. It's almost like fishing in a way, where it's just
yeah,
like you're just sitting there, tossing
just
it
casual.
out.
Yeah, just yeah, especially because the hitchhiker's at single shot open bolt, and then her rifle, she's got a Savage B22, so it's just bolt action anyway. So it's just that nice casual, just one shot at a time, get my aim, and just get my stupidly tight grouping at 100 yards with 22, and yeah.
Have a good
Meanwhile,
time.
I'm on the other, I'm like 2 lanes down, just mag dumping a Hoffman AR lower, just acting like an idiot.
Dudes rock.
Yeah,
Dudes
it's good
rock.
times.
Speaking of Dudes Rock, something that was received super well, the FTN on the Hoffman. Actually,
Yeah,
the Monster Can FTN. When you saw that was included, did you know you had to do that immediately?
yeah, yeah. That was actually probably the third FTN I did because I did. I've got. Yeah, there it is. So it works on my cheapo Delton AR with the
Rip
3D.
in peace. Rest in peace, Delton.
Yeah, that was actually the first AR I've ever bought right there. So, but yeah, I bought that thing during COVID, I think. And then 3D printed it's got the 3D printed Hoffman brace on it, or not brace, the Hoffman stock. And then my other one, the green one is all 3D printed Hoffman stuff also. So,
That is awesome. But
but yeah,
has everyone you've shown the can to enjoyed it?
yeah, yeah. No, that's been very, very well received. I think what I need to do is I need to go out there. If I want to actually keep using it, I need to go out there and redo my zero because I learned when using a suppressor, it basically your bullet drops like an extra inch. So I'm like, okay, so I gotta go out there, and if I want to keep using the suppressors and whatnot, I gotta redo all my zeros, which is awesome. But it's one of those I don't know if I care enough
Yeah,
if
you're
or if I just want to like not use a suppressor. I don't care.
the real zero is how many bullets are left when I see trash sitting unshot at.
Right? Exactly. Yeah. I just gotta mag dump into stuff, and if it hits, it hits.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Do you know what builds you're working on next? Is there a certain one you want to see or you want to do?
So I'm currently slowly working on one of Feral Fetus's uh band themed Glock 19 lowers. I printed the typo negative one, and I finally bought the lower parts kit for it. So I think that's the one I'm currently working on slowly. I think after that, I definitely think I'm gonna start looking at the Trash Panda because just a lever action. I like lever actions.
They're so fun.
Yeah, I've got my granddad's 3030, his old Winchester that it has always just been referred to as my granddad's cowboy gun. And it's been one of the, like, I remember telling my wife about it. I was like, yeah, I'm going to get my granddad's cowboy gun. And she's just looking at me like I'm some sort of moron until it shows up and I show it to her. She's like, oh, yeah, cowboy gun. I get it.
And people
So,
think like, oh, lever actions are gonna be like cheap or something. Lever actions are so expensive.
yeah, no, like, I don't want to know how much that rifle costs now.
Like
Like,
it's
it's,
crazy, and to be able to make something for a fraction of the cost is so cool. The Trash Panda, still working on the VC-15. I'm hoping that I'm eventually going to be able to get it done. But the lever action, so cool, so cool. One that I think more people should print because the Trash Panda is seriously such a sick looking gun, and there's so much
mhm,
you can do with it. I've seen people wrap a paracord around the handle.
yeah,
There's you can tactical it out. So much stuff you can do with it. That's a great option for sure.
yeah.
Is there another Form One you want to make? Is there another can or anything you want to make?
Honestly, the next can I think I want to make is probably going to be it'll be the uh, Red Bull 22. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
it's one of those, like, I want to build one of those for a Taurus TX 22, but
Oh
I
yeah.
need I it's very funny. I won from I think from one of the 3D2A 3D2A TV episodes. That arc actually won me a EX22 Extendo mag and Force Reset from Grixley Prince.
Oh yeah,
Or
Grizzly. I had him on the
Grizzly. Yeah.
pod. Yeah, so cool. The
Yeah.
Szechuan
So
Stendo's awesome.
yeah, so I have all that stuff sitting here. I just don't have a TX22. So I'm like, I need to get a TX22, and then I want to build the that Red Bull 22 can, and that'll probably be it for a while. I've got I have an FTN 522 Form 1 for my wife's rifle also, just because, I mean, why wouldn't you, at that point? But
No, most definitely. And I recorded with it's not out yet, but Ghost G3D as well. I've got it on the
oh,
screen
nice.
here for anyone interested in the TX22. The TX7 pistol chassis, you basically make it an MP7 with the like extended mag, the FRT looks so sharp. And again,
Yeah.
you get the tactical, throw a light on there, throw
Yeah,
whatever the fuck you want on there.
I got
Super sick.
I got all the fun accessories for a TX22. I just need a TX22 at this point.
Which, to be
But
fair, if you just need the gun, there's a lot of guns that are more expensive. As far as
yeah,
project goes, that's affordability wise one of the
yeah,
cheaper options you can go for sure.
yeah. It's just a matter of trying to find them now because everybody has realized that they're cheap and they work and they're fun to put a force reset in, and
Oh,
then
100%. And
so
also
it's
22 is easy to shoot. Like
yeah.
it's easy to shoot. It's fun to show people.
Hmm.
It's a fraction of the cost of getting like I don't know a few hundred rounds of 5.56. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
for a range day, you can just sit out there and bullshit all day and not it. How much it costs doesn't cross your mind once.
yeah, yeah. No, like, I've got, yeah. You can drop 20-30 bucks and buy like 500 rounds of 22, and you won't be mad at the end of the day when you've burned through it. So
Oh no, 100%, and very cool. I'm excited to see that. What do you know? What paint schemes you're going to come up with yet for these future builds?
ah, so the typo negative Glock, I'm going to keep it pretty traditional. So
Well, yeah, because our boy, Mister Fetus, who is going to be on the pod eventually, we just got to work out a
mhm,
time schedule. Our boy Fetus has already done his art on it, right? He's
mhm,
he's already made it so cool, and I printed a nickel back when I need to put together.
yeah,
But yeah, I feel like you kind of got to leave those like stock how they come. Like
yeah. So so the file comes with all that Fetus does, comes with the design on it and everything. So the one I ended up doing, I've got the AMS with my printer, so I can do multicolor. I made the whole frame black and then highlighted it in the highlighted the logos and stuff with green. So
Ooh.
it looks pretty sick. But what I think I'll end up doing is whenever I finally get a slide for it, is I'll probably go find a like a paint marker and kind of the serrations, put in the green on the serrations on the slide and try and get some like, day glow green or whatever, the iron sights for the slide or whatever. But
Oh yeah, go crazy
this is
with it.
definitely one of those like I'm gonna print it, I'm gonna go shoot it a little bit, but it's definitely it's a safe queen. I'm gonna let it sit in the safe and look cool, and I'll pull it out and just be like, hey, look at this dumb thing.
Oh yeah,
So
an incredible piece to show people.
yeah,
Just talk about a such a fun piece. Maybe
yeah,
have to like print like a glow in the dark stand for it or something.
right, yeah,
That really go because that's so awesome.
yeah. But I haven't really thought about color schemes yet for whenever I get to that trash panda. I'm torn on do I want to go full tactical with it? Do I want to go? I've seen a lot of 3D printers right now. They've been going and doing the fake wood look,
Oh,
uh,
that's so good. The
which
fake
looks which
wood.
yeah, which looks sick. Or do I want to just go like our buddy live free and print
Oh yeah,
uh
live free print guns. Tony. Yep,
yeah,
he's
live
awesome.
free print guns. Like go his style and just like pick three completely random colors that clash, and then like
The fuck it
just
we
go with
ball
it.
colorway. Yeah,
Yeah,
just say who
exactly. Like
cares.
I'm not sure which direction I want to go with on it yet, but I
That
haven't
is
I haven't figured it out.
that will be awesome. That will be awesome. You know what else is awesome? Wives. Wives are awesome. W wives. Everyone put
Yep.
comment wife. Wives are so awesome. How important is her support to you in your creativity and you getting to express yourself?
I I would say her support's pretty important, honestly. She pretty much lets me do whatever I want. It's we joke about it that like we've been together 20 plus years now, type of thing. So it's
Sheesh.
yeah, yeah, no. She reminds me that about that every time our anniversary comes up. It's like, really? It's been that long? But no, it's one of those like she's let me she's letting me get back into this stuff. She supports me doing these goofy prints and spending probably an unhealthy amount of money uh buying filament and gun parts and bullets and whatnot. But
And time on the weekends, like
yeah, no, she'll come to the range with me too. Like she usually comes out once a month or so. But
nice.
she also yeah, she's reminding me that I need to get her SY22 I printed working again.
Oh yes,
So I think that was like very much the key where she was like, oh, okay, this is actually super cool. Because she was looking at like the goofy crap I was printing and then saw the SY22 design and was just like, wow, that looks really kind of cool. Like, are we able to change the colors on that? I was like, we can do whatever you want with that.
yeah, Queen. We can do whatever, Queen.
So yeah, so what she wanted was she just finished playing finished one of her run throughs of Cyberpunk 2077, and was there's a shotgun in there uh, that is apparently it's janky and whatnot, but she decided she wanted to make this SY22 based off of that shotgun. So the color scheme matches as best as we can. I went through and found the Budget Arms logo and bumblefucked my way through Fusion 360.
Yeah,
To
literally
embed
smash that into it and into
Yeah,
infusion.
smash that into the side of the frame so it looks like and of course it looks like ass because I did it, but
It
that
doesn't look
also
like our boy Pharaoh Fetus did it. That's for sure. I'm
no
sure.
no God no, but it looks like what you would expect from an in-game gun like from Budget Arms.
Yeah, which is
And
it's supposed to look like that.
yeah, yeah. So it's one of those. It looks really sick, but I think I jacked up the barrel liner when I was uh, putting it in or whatever because it doesn't eject. Like the eject, I had to reprint the slide because the ejector hook wasn't moving, so I reprinted the slide and rebuilt it. Now the ejector hook moves and like it will grab onto the shell, but I think I fucked up the barrel liner because it won't pull the shell out. I had to like pull the slide back and hold it. So
Well, you need to get that working for her. The
yeah,
one my
no,
wife wants is the very ugly SoundShock Neos.
nice.
She saw this on the screen one time and she said, "That's I need that one." And I was like, of all the guns that you would pick, I don't know why you would like this one, but she really likes
Right?
that one.
Yeah,
But regardless, wives can like whatever they want because they're
yeah,
awesome.
no, but yeah,
Women,
no. That's what SY22 was actually a super cool build. Like that one's, yeah, there you go. Like it was a super fun build to go through. Like everything, the lower, the documentation on it all it was very,
very unique, not
yeah,
like anything else. I suggest people go check it out. And BLC's had a ton of cool, fun stuff coming up.
yeah,
Another build I want to get to in the future is, of course, the Decker 9.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, the very cool stuff I'm excited to hear about. Thank you for coming on, man. I had a
yeah,
great
no problem,
time.
man.
Do you have any wise words to leave the people with?
Um, I could actually, I could go back to my Scoutmaster stuff. So when I was a scout, I was part of camp staff, and we had a staff lounge on that camp, and right above there was a phrase that was painted above the door of our staff lounge that everybody had to walk through. So it was like the one door when you walked out to your program area, when you walked out to go up to the chow hall, whatever, you walked out this door, and there was this phrase painted above it, and it's one of those that's always stuck with me. And I'm not a religious person at all, but the it basically said the phrase was you may be the only Bible some kid reads, and it's one of those things that's always stuck with me. It's like it goes back to like we were talking about earlier about leadership and being kind and being trying to set a good example. It's like everybody's got shit going on in their life and whatnot. You don't know what they're struggling with, but be that example. Like, it's that very, very generic. Everybody looks to the Bible as an example of, guiding light, morality, this and that. But, it works with all your faiths. But, you may be the only Bible some kid reads today. So just be that example for, that kid who needed a good example, I guess. But
Yeah,
otherwise,
absolutely, and kind of exactly like we talked about. Like you may be the only person 3D printing guns that someone meets.
yeah,
Don't be weird. Be cool. Be
yeah,
chill. Be a good representative of your community.
yeah, yeah. Just be a, just don't be an asshole. It's really,
It really is that simple, y'all. It's
it's really that
crazy,
simple, and
but
there's a lot of people who struggle with it.
so many people who struggle with it. But it's so easy. Just don't
Yep,
be an asshole. The world could use a lot more of that right now. Thank you for coming
exactly.
on, man. I appreciate it
Yeah,
so much. Had a
no
great
problem.
time,
Thanks for having me.
and I will talk to you guys soon.